All right, here we go on the clock. Did you know that in the 2020 model year, less than 1% of all cars sold were equipped with a manual transmission? Furthermore, only 18% of all Americans and even less than 5% of millennials can even operate a manual transmission. These statistics, provided by the Chicago Tribune, prove that the art of a manual transmission is dying out. Without the vehicles or knowledge needed to even operate a manual transmission vehicle, people will never truly know its practicality and even benefits in comparison to its automatic counterpart. While learning to drive a manual transmission at first may seem difficult, drivers will soon come to learn and appreciate the experience due to several different factors. Benefits of a manual over an automatic include much better safety and practicality, greater reliability and cost effectiveness, and truly unrivaled performance. First of all is the safety and practicality. Driving a manual transmission demands far more of a driver's attention than driving an automatic. Distractions like eating or being on your phone are practically null because the gearbox demands both hands and almost 100% of a driver's attention. With a manual transmission vehicle, many of the most fatal road-going accidents can be reduced, such as texting and driving and many other distractions. As compared to an automatic, the vehicle requires only one hand and in certain cases can be driven with even the knees. This can lead to the implementation of distractions easily as the vehicle is so easy to operate. Also, in a study done by the University of Virginia, researchers were able to conclude that driving a manual transmission helped nullify distractions and increase engagement in participants that had ADHD. The study was conducted by having the participants drive in a crossover simulator under different conditions of time. The researchers used the data to conclude that not only did the manual transmission simulation heighten awareness, but it was also deemed to be far safer for the participants. Using this research and the reduction of distractions, it is clear that the manual transmission is far superior in keeping drivers attentive and safe while operating their vehicle. Next is the greater reliability and cost of the manual transmission. For starters, manuals have the upper hand in longevity, reliability, and cost. For example, according to the website OpenBay, the manual transmission is far superior in comparison to its automatic counterpart in all terms of longevity. Manual transmission cars are far less complex, and the less moving parts and engineering cause less likely components to break. On average, manual transmissions will last longer than an automatic before they require repair or replacement and their overall life. Also, automatic transmission vehicles require much more regular maintenance such as fluid exchanges, replacement parts, and lots of other expensive, labor-intensive work. In comparison, a manual transmission requires only a clutch replacement every few 100,000 miles to keep the vehicle moving, making it far more reliable of a choice. Finally, the manual transmission vehicles are often far more cost efficient than autos. As previously mentioned, manual transmission vehicles save drivers thousands in maintenance over years, but are also far more cost effective on gas too. Since manual transmissions are equipped with not only longer but more gears, it allows the driver to choose how high the engine is taken in the power band, therefore influencing how much gas is being used. Being able to short shift in a 5-speed manual as opposed to a 3-speed auto can save anywhere from 3 to 8 miles per gallon, which will shoot up drastically over the life of a vehicle. Also, since manual transmissions are less complicated and lighter than an automatic, they are often several thousand cheaper when purchasing the car in the first place, saving the driver money. Overall, the manual transmission is not only more reliable than an auto, but is also far more cost effective. Thirdly, without a doubt, the manual transmission is far superior in performance. The manual transmission has a greater connection between the car and driver and leads to absolutely unrivaled performance, whether it's everyday driving or on a racetrack. Firstly, the manual transmission provides control of the gearbox, unlike an automatic is capable of. There are many circumstances in which a manual transmission has an advantage over an automatic. As an example, manual transmission vehicles make engine braking extremely simple by only requiring a downshift, which can effectively slow speed and also save the brakes from premature wear in the vehicle. In automatics, they're not smart enough to realize that the vehicle requires an engine brake, and in certain circumstances, the transmission can actually be damaged if left in gear, leading to more replacement over the life of the vehicle. Secondly, a manual transmission allows the user to drop a gear to receive enough power to possibly avoid a collision. If a split second lane change is required, automatics are often left stuck in the highest gear. It can even lead to fatalities in certain circumstances in which the driver may have been able to exert exact control over the gearbox using the clutch and the lever. In addition, a manual transmission is absolutely unrivaled for spirited driving. Manual transmissions provide not only the best experience, but are also the most effective in performance. Manual vehicles allow the driver to be in control of the vehicle at every second, which allows the driver to choose exactly how much or how little power the car needs by deciding which gear the vehicle will stay in. Mechanically, the manual transmission is also superior. In an article by Tremec, a leading transmission manufacturer, they state that unlike automatic transmission, manuals don't suffer from power creep. Power creep is the continual loss of power that occurs as the engine has to go through more and more parts to put down power to the wheels. Since a manual transmission is far less complicated, the vehicle can put down a much higher percentage of power. In addition, manual transmission vehicles do not have an oil pump and therefore do not suffer from overheating like their auto counterpart. Considering all these factors, it comes as no surprise that the manual transmission is far superior in its connection to the driver and its performance on and off the street. In conclusion, the manual transmission provides better safety and practicality, reliability, and performance over the automatic, making it the clear winner in the argument of how a car should be powered. It comes as a surprise to all enthusiasts that such a small percentage of drivers can even operate a vehicle with a manual, and that even less vehicles are being sold. If provided with more research and reasons for the love of manual transmissions, perhaps more buyers would consider it as an option. As manufacturers continue to move away from the manual, all the benefits will disappear forever as we cease to make manual transmission vehicles. And I'd like to end with saying, save the manuals. Thank you. I'm also sick, so excuse me a little bit.